We have Friday Night Smackdown out of Berlin, Germany this week. And on paper, it looks like a really good show, but I've been burned before. Now let's get into it. Look, you're already here. Hit that subscribe button. What is happening, everybody? We have Friday Night Smackdown coming out of Berlin, Germany. We have 3 matches announced so far. One of those matches is Trick Williams' debut against Rey Fenix. I think this match is going to be absolutely amazing. Although I do think that WWE has kind of already shown their hand here about where they're trying to go with Trick Williams. So I think it's a pretty easy match to predict, but I've said that before. I did say that about some of these matches on Monday Night Raw, and I didn't get a single one right. But if we're talking about this Trick Williams debut, we saw him have a face-to-face with Sami Zayn last week. So I do think that that's the direction that they're going to take this first feud for Trick Williams. I think Rey Fenix is just going to be a way to get Trick Williams there. So I'm pretty sure that Trick Williams is going to win this match. It's his first match. You can't debut him with a loss. You just can't. As exciting as I think Rey Fenix is, he's not getting the respect that he deserves on Friday Night SmackDown. So I do think that they're just going to sacrifice him for Trick Williams, and that's perfectly fine, honestly. Like I said, his first match on the main roster. Let's give him that. Let's give him that win, right? I do think that maybe there were other people that you could have sacrificed to Trick Williams to get that same kind of heat. Can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but I don't know. Just treating Rey Fenix like this is not something that I'm a huge fan of. I feel like this guy just can't get ahead in the WWE, and that really bums me out because he's really talented. He is super charismatic, and I just love the guy. But yeah, I think Trick Williams is going to win this match. I think after this match, Trick Williams attacks Rey Fenix in the ring, kind of shows his heelish self, and then he gets interrupted by a Sami Zayn who makes the save on Rey Fenix and igniting that feud between these two. I think that is a perfectly fine, really good feud for Trick Williams' first feud. I think we all know where we want to see Trick Williams get to eventually. We want to see him revive that feud with Carmelo Hayes, and we'll get there. And maybe we'll get there for the US Championship, but I think having Sami Zayn be Trick Williams' first feud, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sami Zayn is a main eventer. Sami Zayn is someone that WWE utilizes as a utility player, so it gives Trick Williams a lot of validity by having Sami Zayn be his first feud. So yeah, I think that Trick Williams beats Trick Williams beats Rey Fenix in this first match, in his debut match, continues attacking him after the bell, and then Sami Zayn makes the save, and we kick it off from there between these two. The next match we have is an 8-man tag match between the MFTs and the Wyatt Sicks. It'll probably be the MFTs without Solo. Solo will probably sit this one out, and he'll probably get involved in this match. I'm pretty sure the last time they had a 4-on-4 match, I think these two factions have had a 4-on-4 match already. It was a tornado tag team match. I think that is the way to do it. Do we really want to see Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and Uncle Howdy just wait for a pin, or the Tongas wait for a pin or for a tag? No, this needs to be a tornado tag team match. I hope that that's what WWE is doing. I also think that the MFTs win this one. I think that having Solo Sikoa as the 5th man outside is the X factor for the MFTs. It shows, again, the danger of the MFTs. And if the MFTs want to eventually get another title shot and win the titles, I think that this is the way to get there. Having them win as a faction gives them credibility, gives them a reason to get another title shot, right? We've beat them. Now, can we get another title shot? Sure. And then I think that whatever match they have next, whatever tag team match they have next, whenever that may be, the MFTs take those tag team championships away from the Wyatt Sicks. This is a fun feud, but it's been going on for too long at this point, and I'm ready for it to end. And I think that ultimately, I've said this before, I'll say it again, we need to take those titles away from the Wyatt Sicks and put them on the MFTs if WWE wants us to take them seriously. So I think that the MFTs win this match again, Solo Sikoa being the X Factor getting involved in this match, and then that gives the MFTs a reason to to go after those titles, to ask for a title shot. So MFTs for the win here. Before we get into the 3 stages of hell match between Cody and Drew, which is the last match that has already been announced, we did hear last week from Carmelo Hayes that he will be continuing the open challenge for the U.S. title. Last week, he beat Johnny Gargano for the title, defended his title versus Johnny Gargano. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, that feud is probably not over, but I doubt he's the person who answers the challenge this week. I've been thinking about who I think answers the challenge while in Germany, and I think considering what happened last week between Carmelo Hayes and The Miz in the locker room or in the back, where Carmelo Hayes basically thanked Miz for leaving him alone so that he can go on and not miss. I think that The Miz answers this open challenge, and I think that this serves as like a bookend for this feud. We never got, the fallout from both of them breaking up and then attacking each other. We never got a fallout. We never got a match between them or a long-term feud. And I think WWE is just going to have them have this match for the U.S. title. Carmelo Hayes will beat The Miz, and we can just call it a feud there. And honestly, I'm perfectly okay with that. I don't want these two to have a long-term feud at this point. I don't want these two to have 3 or 4 matches ending in a WrestleMania match. None of that matters to me anymore. But they do need something to kind of show, like, okay, they've fought it out, and it's over. So I think that this serves as that moment for them. So I think that The Miz answers the open challenge. Carmelo Hayes gets the win, and we can call this feud pretty much over between The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. I don't know, maybe somebody like Joe Hendry gets involved and costs The Miz that match, and then they kind of have a feud that started a couple weeks ago, so maybe that continues that feud there. I don't know, we'll see, but I do think that The Miz answers the open challenge, and we can kind of call this a feud between him and Carmelo Hayes, and they can each kind of move on their separate ways, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I do expect some big things out of this show on Friday. One of the biggest teases has been Obafemi coming to the main roster. Obafemi did vacate his title this week on NXT. He defended his title, he won his match, and then he left the title in the ring, kind of signifying, I'm leaving this title behind and moving on, probably to the main roster. We have seen videos for Obafemi both on Friday Night Smackdown and Monday Night Raw. I don't know if this is the episode where he comes back. If he's the person that answers the open challenge, sorry, Carmelo Hayes, your reign lasted 2 weeks, and I don't want to do that to Carmelo Hayes. So I don't think he comes back this week, but maybe we get a tease saying that he's coming to Friday Night Smackdown. I think he absolutely needs to come to Friday Night Smackdown. I don't think there's anything for him on Monday Night Raw, especially because it's been Vision versus CM Punk for as long as I can remember, and it's probably going to be that all the way to WrestleMania. So I think Obafemi comes to Friday Night Smackdown. Maybe he just has a promo in the ring saying that he's here to stay and he's here to take out whoever he needs to take out to become Undisputed Champion. And I think that would be the right move. I think that Obafemi coming to SmackDown would be the right move. Again, I don't know if he does that this week or not, but I'd be perfectly fine with him cutting a promo in the ring, kind of just putting everyone on notice saying, I'm here to take everything. We also saw Randy Orton come back next week, and I think that he makes an appearance on this show. I think he gets involved in this main event between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. Another person that has been rumored to make his return this week is Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. And I think that he also gets involved in this match. So in the 3 stages of hell match, the first match is a one-on-one normal wrestling match. I think that one ends clean. I think that Cody Rhodes takes that one. Kind of showing like in a normal wrestling match, Cody Rhodes is the better fighter. This kind of protects Cody Rhodes because I do ultimately think that Drew McIntyre is winning this match. Spoiler alert. But I think that if we give Cody Rhodes the win in that first match, that first clean one-on-one normal wrestling match, that protects Cody Rhodes, and it's a way of WWE saying, look, if all things were the same and if everything was clean and if nothing else mattered, Cody Rhodes is the better wrestler. We then have the false count anywhere match as the second stipulation, the second stage of this match. Here, I think Drew McIntyre shows his villainous self, uses every weapon he can, right? He gets violent with Cody, and I think that Drew McIntyre takes that second pin, or whatever, he wins that second stipulation, because he is the big bad heel. He is the violent one. That's the narrative that WWE is telling with these two. So he is the violent one in this feud, and I think he takes that second stipulation of the match, and then we move on to the steel cage. Now, the third stipulation being the steel cage match. I think that this is where the wheels fall off, and I'm of two minds of this. I know I said earlier that I think Drew McIntyre wins this match, and I hope he does. What I hope happens is that Jacob Fatu returns. He makes his way to the ring. Everyone expects him to attack Drew McIntyre, but Jacob Fatu actually attacks Cody Rhodes, kind of revealing that Cody was the person that attacked him all those weeks back, that took him out all those weeks back, leaving an open door, both metaphorically and literally, since they're in a steel cage, for Drew McIntyre to just walk away, and he's crowned the new WWE Undisputed Champion. The other option here is Randy Orton, and as much as I'm trying to think through this, I don't know if he gets involved, who he attacks, and what that does. If he attacks Drew McIntyre, we're still left with a babyface Cody Rhodes who wins with heelish ways, but we haven't really revealed that he's a heel or anything, so that's weird. If he attacks Cody Rhodes, then we get a Randy Orton heel turn, but then Drew McIntyre is free to win. Maybe he RKO's both, and then that kind of just shows the WWE universe like, hey, this guy's just here for the championship. He doesn't care who it is. Maybe that's the other route that they can go with this, is Randy Orton gets involved, RKO's both of them, leaves the ring. Whoever wins, it's basically signifying, yeah, Randy Orton's got next. I don't know. I think the better story to tell here is a returning Jacob Fatu comes back. He gets involved. He attacks Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre wins. We get a feud between Jacob Fatu and a heel Cody Rhodes that isn't for a title before Jacob Fatu goes for the title next. So that's kind of where I want it to go. I don't know if WWE has the guts to go there, but I think that that's the better move, WWE. If you want people to start talking about the product again, we got to start making bold choices, man. We got to start making bold decisions, and I think it's time. I think it's time to pull the trigger on a heel Cody Rhodes. So there you have it. That's what I think will happen this week on this Friday Night Smackdown. Listen, last week, SmackDown was better than Raw. And that's a weird sentence to say. That's something we haven't said in months. And I think that that's maybe a 3-hour SmackDown was the move. Listen, I hit my mic. I am not too proud to say when I was wrong. But maybe a 3-hour SmackDown was a move, because last week it was a great show. So hopefully the Road Dogg and SmackDown can deliver again this week, but we'll see. Only time will tell. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know who you think is going to win that 3 Stages of Hell match. Let me know if there's going to be any shenanigans. I feel like we're definitely going to get shenanigans. It's just, what shenanigans are we going to get? Let me know what other matches you think will happen on Friday. I'm thinking Julia will probably defend her title. I just don't know against who. Maybe Jordynne Grace. I don't know. I'm excited for this whole European tour. European crowds are so fun. WWE just really delivers when they're not in front of American crowds, because they try to give people their money's worth, and people's reactions and the crowds that WWE gets in this European tours just make the show so much better. So I'm really excited for it. I'm hoping for big things as we lead into the Rumble, and then man, we're off to WrestleMania. But anyway, since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe. If you don't have a wrestling guy, I'd love to be your wrestling guy. And look, if you haven't done so already, make sure to click on one of these videos and check out what else I got. I'm sure you'll like something on my channel. I post a lot, so make sure to check something out, and I'm sure you'll fall in love with some of the content on this channel. But anyway, though, as always, until next time, have a nice day.